Alright, this is part 2 of the Vayeate and Mercurius set. So on part 2 we'll be focusing on Mercurius. However, I won't be going over articulation because this thing has the exact same articulation as Vayeate, as I mentioned on part 1, because they have the exact same base build going on here. So keep that in mind. And as I mentioned before, you cannot buy this separately, you have to buy the set. And if you want to have this separately, you just have to find another friend who wants the other, buy the set together, and then split it up. Okay, so you might need to actually probably build them together at the same spot, because some plates actually there is a mixture of plates that you might need to share. But still, let's see what we got. So from the pronunciation aside, I think I do prefer this compared to the Vayeate, because there's a lot more stuff to actually do with this version as well, and I do like the red color. Alright, so before we go over anything else, some people did request this, so let's compare it with a Leo for some reason. So I'm not really sure if this is really necessary to compare it. We have a slightly different size, different color, obviously, the different parts going on here all over the place. Even the legs are different, the body is different. Overall, it's a very different kit, other than maybe the shoulders might be looking similar, but once again, they're kind of I think the shoulder parts might be similar, but I think they're also kind of different because of the way how they're shaped. But still, might be similar round shoulders, but the lower arms and everything else is pretty much different. Alright, so compared to Vayeate, you actually get some more stuff. So number one, you actually get a shield that also works as a beam saber, and then we also get one of the most simple looking guns out there. Of course, I think I can name a few more simple looking weapons in the Gundam universe in general, but still, this is also one of those simple ones. Now, once again, I really don't like the stickers that are used on the weapons. Very, very bad. I think I applied this one very terribly, so I might actually rip it off. So let's see what we got. So first of all, as I mentioned, you should technically have another extra open hand for the left arm. However, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be using that because you have a gun and a shield, so those usually work together. And let's see, we have the planet defensors, and I've seen a lot of people make their own versions of these before this release. And one of the most genius ways of making these were that they use magnets. And that was really cool concept, but in this case, I was actually hoping them to use something similar, but no, they actually use these clip systems going on here. They actually work pretty well. So the way how these work is that, so these yellow parts are the only sticker that goes onto the planet defensors. So you should have 10 stickers in the sticker sheet for these. So yeah. So the way how these works is that you have these pegs going on here, and then there's these slots you can put it in, and they clip onto each other very well. They're not even loose. They're a very stable connection as well, and I believe one of these should be able to rotate around by themselves. I'm trying to figure. Yeah, there we go. You have these clips that can move pretty much all the way around. I don't think they can be close. Yeah, I think this is the closest that they can go over. So once again, I'm mostly going to just follow the instruction manual demonstrations, but you can pretty much connect these any way you want to do so and do something crazy about it, or maybe you can buy multiple of these and make a whole ring about it. So that's the way how these works. And the way, once again, with the action bases, they give you a basic action base. Now these are not as sturdy to hold the entire mobile suit, keep that in mind. And then this part, you actually have all these pegs going on here, so you can pretty much there are these pegs, and then on the back of it we have a nice hole going on here, so you can just attach them like that, and you can pretty much position them any way you want. And I believe there's more pegs around on the top section, so you can just pretty much mess around with these planet defensors as much as you want. So I think that's a very cool gimmick, because my basic opinion on anything that uses a funnel type weapon or like a wireless type weapon was that there's not many ways to actually properly display it. So which is why I'm not the biggest fan of funnel weapon using mobile suits, such as like the new Gundam. As much as I love the new Gundam, I always have that problem on displaying it, which is why I did get the Robot Damashi version, because it actually gives you a connector for that. So yeah, so in terms of planet defensors, you should be getting, I believe, 10 planet defensors at the moment. So you get 5, you attach 5 each onto each backpack. And the way how these work, you have this connector here, which only technically you connect one planet defensor, and the rest just pretty much connects to each other. So it's only one that you're connecting here. And then you can also move these up and down as well. I forgot to mention about this. I forgot to mention about the Vayeate as well. They have the same connection over here. So right over here, so you can move them up and down as well. And then they all have a ball joint connection right over here. So let's see what we got. So articulation is pretty much the same. So let's look at the weapon. So the weapon, let me the way, I'm not a big fan of it. I was hoping that you can just slide it off, but once again, you need to take off the handguard and, you know, do the usual. So the gun actually is a very simple build. You just snap 2 pieces together and it's good to go. I'm pretty sure this gun is powerful enough to destroy a Leo with 1 shot, if I remember the show correctly. And the shield, once again, I think the shield should have been slightly bigger, or maybe it's just that I'm remembering it differently. But the way how the shield works is that usually if it's a shield, you would have a shield connector that connects to the arm, but nope, you actually have a gun type handle going on here on the front. So the main reason is because this also works as a close combat weapon. So I don't think this really works as a proper shield. It's not a really efficient shield going on here, but it's a really nice concept. Although I think they could have given a different beam saber effect part, which a more fatter one. But either way, it works pretty well as well. So yeah. So there's nothing too special on the back. So pretty much you have the same type of build going on here. So it's just a different way how to utilize these things going on here. So yeah, we've seen the basics. And once again, for the Vayeate, not the Vayeate. So for the Mercurius head going on here, we still have the same structure. We have a sticker on the face, and then behind that should be another whatchamacallit, a bigger Leo-ish camera on the back. So, and as I mentioned, if you look at the horns here, that you might notice that it's a very much cleaner horn. That's because I cut it off and sand all the nub marks here. The only reason why I did this is because we actually have a spare, so just in case while sanding it breaks off, I can always have a spare on standby. And I think I cleaned it up pretty well. Okay, very satisfied as well. Okay, so I think I'll be right back to demonstrate the planet defensors, because that's pretty much the only thing that I can demonstrate at this point. Okay, I'm back. So here we have a demonstration using the planet defensors. As I mentioned, you don't need to take off everything. I mean, you could take off all 10 and then attach 5 each onto each action base, so that's really up to you. I just wanted to show you guys that it's not really necessary. You can pretty much make your own shape. Now currently I put it 3 each on each side, but you can connect these 2 together, use 1 action base, and make a whole different shape if you want to do so. So there's multiple ways to demonstrate this as well. So just wanted to point that out. And once again, here is the one with the you know, without the mask going on here. So definitely has a different vibe going on here, but I can kind of see some people prefer that design. And once again, here is the backpack, not exactly backpack, but still here are the planet defensors that's left on the back. So this is the way how it works. So as I mentioned, it's only the main connector here is only connected to 1, so, and then the rest is all connected to each other, so it's not really too back heavy as well. And they're really interesting. It's a really interesting connection that we don't see too often. Alright, so I think at this point there's only one last thing to show, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So if you bought this set, I'm pretty sure that at some point you're going to be displaying these 2 together, because when you look at it, each mobile suit or each unit it's kind of unbalanced. Like the Vayeate definitely has firepower, but it does not have much for defense or close combat. While on the other hand, the Vayeate, the Mercurius actually has close combat and has defense, but not much for firepower despite the gun, because I believe that gun is like a really support, kind of a simple support kind of thing going on there. But still, when they are together, they become the pretty much perfect combination to each other. So that's I'm really glad they actually released this as a set, because it really makes you appreciate the units as well. Now, if there's one thing I forgot to mention from the Vayeate review, is that, as I mentioned, the backpack there's these multiple connections going on here, so you are able to reposition the backpack anywhere you want. Because first of all, the generator is actually on a ball joint, so you can move them, you can rotate them, you can move them around. And there's also another joint here that's connected to the back of the mobile suit, so which is why it should be pretty easy to reposition the backpack or the generator any way you want to do so. But once again, if you already bought this kit, and if you're planning on to get this kit, there's not much wrong you can go with this one, because sure, there are some stickers, but most of these stickers are really easy to apply. The build is very simple and the quality is very great. Some people thought the articulation was bad on this kit. I don't think that's an issue. This thing has really plenty of articulation to have enough fun to display as well. Anyway, thanks for watching the review. This was the review, and technically this was part 2 of the review, but also this is the end of the review of the P-Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive HG Vayeate Mercurius set. If you guys got any questions or requests, in your comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.